Hey there, everybody. Jim Toner here of JTWB International. I've got something a little different here for you today. I've got, I may not look like it yet, but I'm a little angry. Actually, I'm very, very, very angry. And I think you're going to be very angry, too, when you hear what I have to say. I'm a 23-year professional real estate investor. I'm very good at what I do. I've taught thousands of people throughout the country how to be successful real estate investors. We've got a very successful company. I'm sitting here in our beautiful waiting room for at the Success Center. We're good at what we do. We know the business. We understand real estate investing inside and out. What I want to do is read something to you that I received from a bank. I'm not going to name the bank yet. I want to read to you a document I received that they want me to sign regarding a loan. Now, you'll understand why I'm so upset after I read it to you. Because, as I said, I'm a 23-year real estate investor. It's what I do. This document I'm going to read to you, I want you who are hearing this right now, I want you to think to yourself, do you understand this? Would you feel comfortable signing this? As a matter of fact, anybody that sees this video, I want you to contact me if you even have the slightest idea what this is. And what I'm getting to is how dangerous lending practices are. I'm not a guy out there to slam banks, say banks are evil, but I'm telling you something right now. This is bullshit. And I'm going to read it to you, and I'm going to let you make your decision. Again, I'm not going to name the bank yet. This is a prepayment penalty. Now, when you're receiving a prepayment penalty in a loan doc, you want to know what the prepayment penalty is. Here's what it says. Now, you've got to bear with me because it's long and I probably don't understand some of these words. So bear with me. Here's the prepayment penalty from a large financial institution. Again, unnamed yet. Prepayment penalty. Upon prepayment of this agreement, lender is entitled to the following prepayment penalty. If this note bears interest at the floating rate, the indebtedness may be prepaid in a whole or in part at any time without penalty. If this note bears interest at a fixed rate, notwithstanding anything contained herein to the contrary, upon any prepayment by or on behalf of the borrower, whether voluntarily or default or otherwise, the borrower shall, upon demand by the bank, pay the bank as compensation for the cost of being prepared to advance fixed rate funds hereunder the amount equal to the cost of prepayment. Cost of prepayment means an amount equal to the present value, if positive, of the product of the difference between the yield on the beginning date of the applicable interest period of a U.S. Treasury obligation with a maturity similar to the applicable interest period minus the yield on the prepayment date of a U.S. Treasury, the number of a Treasury obligation with a maturity similar to the remaining maturity of the applicable interest period, and the principal amount of the prepaid and the number of years, including fractional years, from the prepayment date to the end of the applicable interest period. The yield on any U.S. Treasury obligation shall be determined by reference to Federal Reserve Statistics Release H15519, Selected Interest Rates. For purposes of making present value calculations, the yield to maturity of a similar maturity U.S. Treasury obligations on the prepayment date shall be deemed at the discount rate. Cost of prepayment shall also apply to any payments made after acceleration of the maturity of this note while a fixed rate is in effect. Except for the foregoing, borrower may pay all or portion of the amount owed earlier than it is due. Earlier payments will not be I don't know. I'm done. There's about another paragraph and a half left. So, listener, again, I want someone out there listening to this tell me, did you understand one word that I said? Now, I am a professional real estate investor. This is a professional real estate investing company. Tell me what Joe Public might fall victim to on a loan document like this. I wonder if we're the only ones who had this put in their face to sign. Now, we didn't sign it. We're not going to sign it. But I wonder how many people have already signed it and have become victims of what's going on out there. The raping of the general public by financial institutions. This is a real document. What I read is very real. So I'd like to get some response from anybody out there. Matter of fact, I'd like you to take this video, email it to everybody you know. Email it, put it on Facebook, put it on YouTube, put it everywhere. People need to be aware of what they're signing, what's going on out there. The banks that we have bailed out, that they're looking to take care of us, that aren't lending money to begin with, but when they do lend money, they want to nail you to a cross. This isn't funny. And if you can't tell by now, I am mad. I'm very mad. And we're not going to take this lying down. I don't think you should either. So that's my rant for today. I look forward to hearing your comments on this. But you'll be hearing more about this shortly, I promise you. But I wanted to make you aware of some of the nasty stuff that's going on by our friendly lenders. See you next time.